dismiss it and then go on.
Do you want me to accept it? No problem, because I'll tell you why I can accept it easily. Why? Because we say Jesus is the Messiah.
Okay.
You know that. So why would I reject it anyways? I have no reason to reject it.
Okay.
But the idea is, I'm telling you, we're now handling the criteria of the book.
Because you asked, that's fine. We can go into what you bring.
Okay.
But we first establish. How do we establish it's from God? How do we establish it's not been corrupted? So I'm giving you a prophecy from the first book.
I'll tell you
that.
I'll tell you the problem.
Therefore, we can understand.
You said
the first
a prophecy, a vague prophecy being fulfilled.
It's not vague.
Okay, a prophecy.
Yes,
we would differ on that
because you do not understand.
Could you let me finish?
Yes.
A prophecy being fulfilled does not mean it's from God. Many people make prophecies. What determines is it actually from God or not? All the prophecies has to come to pass. This is how you know 100% this is from God. This is why I'm trying to give you another prophecy, which is not fulfilled. Just look at it. So you understand my point of view?
Show me your evidence.
No. Can God make false prophecies? We already agreed on that.
God make false prophecies.
Okay, let's look at it.
Fact check.
If he shows you an unfulfilled prophecy, that means it's not from God. Okay?
I will see what he brings and their interpretation.
I have to. Let's look first at.
Well, we'll go to one because I gave you one. You give me one. I'll give you one.
Okay. So, do you want the one relating to kind of ruleship to be like this one from a sense, isn't it? No. Let's try this one. No problem. Let's go to Mark. Okay. 27. Mark 13:27. So this prophecy is talking about things that is going to happen. So let's read it. I'll let you read it.
Of the temple.
I'll let you read it.
24.
No. Matthew 13.
It's the same. It's repeated in Matthew 24.
Mark 13. Mark 13.
Mark 13.
26. Let's start from 26 or 25, whatever you want.
26.
Yeah. Let's read it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And
because
you're more fluent in English. The Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory.
Okay, let's continue.
And he shall send his angels and shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the uttermost part of the earth to the uttermost part of heaven.
Okay.
Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When her branch is yet tender and put forth leaves, ye shall know that summer is near. So ye in like manner, when ye shall see these things come to pass, know that it is nigh, even at the doors.
Did these things happen? Yeah.
But it's coming to pass.
It didn't happen yet?
No.
Okay. Let's read verse 30.
Verily I say unto you that this generation shall not pass till all these things be done.
Okay. Yes. So it says after this generation, before this generation passes, these things is going to come to pass. Did it come to pass?
So what is the Greek word for generation?
Now you're going to go into parables and things. Let's look for it. Let's research it. I don't know personally. I don't know.
The Greek word is genea.
Let's look for it. No problem.
Okay, I'll get it.
I'll look for it as well. No problem. Because there are words in Greek, it could mean many different meanings.
Exactly. So when he says this generation, we then have to decide what does he mean by this generation? Who is this generation? Because this is repeated in Matthew 24.
This generation is clear.
No.
It's very clear.
No.
Who is he talking to? He's talking to the Jews. This is very clear. He only came and talking to the Jews.
Now, before we go to the Greek, let me give you...
Why don't you want to go to the Greek?
Because I'm going to give you the same passage in Matthew 24.
I don't need it. We're talking about this. Now you're going to another place.
It's the same story.
No. I don't accept that. I don't accept that.
You said about being...
You said... I know, I said intellectual.
About a sincere conversation.
I did.
So now let me show you the other verse.
But would you accept if you bring to me a verse in the Quran and then I tell you, okay, let's go to this verse. This verse is going to explain to you?
Remember, the Bible is written in the literary style. Is that this is written from the witnesses. So remember I said to you...
That's why I told you, let's go to the Greek. Let's analyze the verse.
That's fine. Remember when I said...
And I give you context.
Remember when I said to you at the beginning, if you have one writer talking about the resurrection of Christ...
What did you see
what I'm saying.
What did you see the generation? Because you said a different word.
I said Genea. So Genea. Genea. Exactly.
You're right. Yeah.
So I said to you, if we have the story, for example, of the burial, and someone says they saw Roman soldiers, and someone says they saw 3 women or 2 women or whatever, it may appear as a contradiction, but we take it together.
This is not a contradiction. This is a prophecy. This is why we're not talking about contradiction.
We go to Matthew as well.
The idea is
it expands on the story.
Listen.
Because what Jesus says, otherwise you're going to look.
Listen to me. We're not talking about contradictions. I'm not saying it's a contradiction. I'm saying it's a false prophecy.
Okay.
It's entirely different.
So now
when I say this person is going to walk 2 steps,
yes,
this is my prophecy,
okay,
and he doesn't walk 2 steps.
Okay.
Or he's
now
going to
we
walk.
have to identify who is this generation. Otherwise,
Yeah.
that's why I told you the word Hinea. Like, this is not a false prophecy. That's what people will try and use, because Janaea can be this like a race of people or an age. So therefore, because if we go to Matthew, it talks because Jesus talks about the fig tree as we saw. So the fig tree was a sign of the time that things will come to pass, and then the generation that sees that is the generation that will see the coming of the Son of Man in the second coming. This is why, for example, is Muslims, you believe Jesus is going to come again, because the Bible confirms the same thing.
We believe, but we don't believe this is going to happen. This is a difference.
But it doesn't matter. But what this is talking about is the second coming. That's why you believe there's going to be a second coming. This is alluding to the
I can
same
agree.
thing.
I can agree.
Therefore, it's not
I
a
can
false
agree. I
prophecy.
can agree.
Yes.
But you cannot use this reasoning. If it said this is going to happen today,
Okay,
in this generation, it has to happen in this generation.
Now let's go and look for.
This generation doesn't mean that.
Exactly, we have. It means the people, because when we look at the book of Matthew 24, it talks about the signs of the coming of age, the coming of the kingdom. So it says when you see these things coming, this is the generation. So it's the generation that sees these things happening. They will know that the second coming is happening. But because you have to understand the literary styles of the gospel. Yes. So Mark is gives a very brief.
Let's look at the definition. Let's look Bible study tool.
Yes.
Okay, let's read. Do you accept this one? Okay, let's read. What does it say? Definition. This is the word Janaea.
Yeah.
Let's read the definition.
It's a strong
Birth, nativity.
Yep.
Okay, that which has been begotten, men of the same stock, a family, or a several ranks, natural descent.
Yeah.
Okay, so
carry on. There's more.
okay, you carry on. You have the same same website.
So it
isn't
says a group of men
Even though
very
this-
like each other in the endowments, especially in a bad sense, a perverse nation, a whole multitude of men living at the same time.
How do you know?
And it says,
I'll tell you.
wait. Now, no. And it says what? An age. Each be successive generations. So therefore,
Look at the years. Why did you leave the years?
Space of 30
to 33 years. Exactly our point.
So therefore,
Even your own definition goes against you. The problem is, be honest. You said you will have an intellectual discussion. This word is very clear. Why? Because he was talking to the Jews.
Okay.
He told you this
because
he wasn't talking to the Jews.
Let's look at the
He
definition.
wasn't talking to the Jews.
Let's look at exactly the Jews. So
Yeah.
this is what it's saying. The whole multitude of men living at the same time. So therefore, it
Listen
doesn't
to me.
have
If I look at some of my Muslim brothers and I tell them, this will happen in your generation. Do I mean the whole of time?
Because,
or I mean only their generation.
If you want an honest answer, then we go to the book of Matthew, where it gives further details of this prophecy.
This
you
is the
can't
problem.
say
This I would say.
you're focusing on one thing, because then this is anti-intellectual. Because as Christians,
It's not.
even from the
I'm using
start
a prophecy only.
No, exactly, and I'm giving you the same prophecy that is written in more
How
detail.
do I know that it's the same
This
prophecy?
is our criteria, because it's the same
You would
story.
say it's the same
this
prophecy.
Is the same story.
It doesn't really
Shall
mean
we have a
it's
look
the
at
same.
it?
If you want to look at it, but I personally,
That's you personally. I'm giving you.
No. I'm personally using a
That's fine.
verse in the Bible that you couldn't handle. Therefore, you had to go to
Therefore, we
another
have to
verse.
understand.
Therefore, you had to go
I'm
to another
telling you,
verse.
and-
I
no, no, no.
personally, if you bring me,
Listen
I'll
to
tell you
what I'm
something.
saying to you.
If you
I'm
bring,
saying
if
to
you bring,
you
I'm sorry. I'll let you
that-
speak.
I'm
I'll let you
saying
speak.
this.
I'll say something. I'll let you speak.
Let me finish my point. I'm saying to you, generation
Yeah.
does not necessarily have to mean specifically that people.
This is the
So when he
meaning of
says,
the word.
because when he says when he says
We
this,
already brought the
exactly,
definition.
It says a group of
And
people.
anyone can actually go and look at
it. It
it.
says a group of people. It doesn't say have to be those specific people.
Which group? He was talking to a certain group.
Because it can be a.
Was he talking to a certain group?
He was talking to the Jews. So therefore,
No, a
that means-
certain group of the Jews.
No, it can be a race of people, a type of people.
He was talking to the world.
Listen, if he's talking to the Jews, when
A certain
listen
group
to what
of
I'm
Jews.
saying.
Yeah.
If he's talking to Israelites, Jewish people,
Not in general.
listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If he's speaking to Jewish people, the race of Jewish people can be the same people that witnessed the second coming, not those specific people who were there. It's a lineage.
Sorry. Yeah, I know what you're trying to do.
Race.
You're trying to say it's a race. It doesn't say in the definition anywhere it's a race. It says a group of people.
Let's look at the definition again.
If you find the race,
let's look at the definition because you're getting.
the problem is, why are you choosing? Yeah, we need to do a wrap up. You know, let's ignore this one. Let's ignore this one if you want, or you wanna continue it. We wanna wrap up on something positive. What do you think? Because I'm trying to have.
Yeah, because we haven't even touched on the Quran.
Yeah.
You stuck on the Bible because I said to you originally because of, no.
I was telling you why I don't accept the Bible.
That's fine, but the reason why I said to you, if I apply these same standards, the Quran will not stand up to the same standards you're giving me, and I wanted to demonstrate that.
Which one?
So
you would not stand to.
Okay, for example, do you believe the sperm comes from between the backbone and the ribs?
Yeah, there are medical reference.
Okay.
I have read it myself.
Okay.
Other than that,
Okay.
if you want to use science as a criteria, we don't use science as the criteria. Why?
But because it's coming.
I'll tell you what. Do you use science? Do you want to use science as the criteria? We know that science. What is science? Science is the study of the patterns of and regulations of the universe. The understanding changes by time. Did they have the same understanding 100 years ago? So you cannot use science to me and say because science says that, then it's wrong.
Did Allah know science?
Did Allah know science? Allah knows the truth. Okay. Allah knows what is the.
So if we have between the
certain
and the ribs,
if we have a certain understanding right now, it might be false. Okay. This is my criteria. Don't bring it to me science.
All right.
Unless you want me to bring science against the Bible. You think science is gonna stand up against?
I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you why I don't use science against the Bible because this is not fair.
Wait. See, we're jumping because we're saying if this is from God, therefore everything you have to say.
No, I'm telling you why I don't use science because science changes.
Okay.
This is the nature of science.
Give me a prophecy from the Quran.
A prophecy from the Quran.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me why you tell me why the Quran is inspired. I'm gonna ask.
Okay, let me give you some. But we said we want to wrap up. So you want me to give you one or two prophecies?
Okay. Just give me a few points. We'll wrap up very short.
All right, no problem. Let's look at chapter 30 of the Quran. Okay, the Romans. Okay. So it talks about because at the time of the Prophet we had two major empires.
Okay.
The Roman Empire and the Persian Empire. Okay, the Roman Empire was...
Now you're going to say about who won. Now this is where we have a problem.
Okay.
Your oldest Quran comes after that battle, so therefore you cannot substantiate that it's a prophecy.
Our oldest Quran comes from...
No,
I told you the Quran is preserved in three ways.
Listen to what I'm saying.
In three ways. This would be another discussion. But the Quran is preserved in three ways.
Okay.
When did the Prophet recite the Quran? When he received it.
Okay.
Therefore, this verse applies when he received the Quran.
But
the authenticity of the Quran. This is a different argument.
Prove it.
This is. Now we're gonna go to the authenticity of the Quran.
Okay,
you told me bring revelations, bring predictions. Then you're telling me let's go to the authenticity.
Yeah, of course.
Another time I can go 100% with you.
Because your claim would be that the Dead Sea Scrolls came 100 years after, 1,000 years
I told you.
after Moses.
This is why I told you. This is why I told you. I accepted your prophecy. Why did I accept it?
Yes.
Because I don't want to go into the whole argument of the authenticity.
But
if you wanna handle,
the prophecy comes before Jesus,
if you wanna
200
handle,
years. What I'm saying to you is this: I said to you clearly, if I hold your Quran to the same standards you hold in the Bible, it will not stand up. Now let me ask. You said to me that there was a 1,000-year gap between the Dead Sea Scrolls and Moses. So I'm saying to you, there is a gap between that prophecy and the oldest Quran. Therefore, we cannot.
And I'm telling you why not.
Standard you're using.
And I'm telling you why not.
And
I'm telling you why not. Because this verse was revealed by the Prophet when he recited it. This is the time.
Where's the proof?
Now we're gonna go back to the authenticity.
Exactly.
So your claim is wrong.
Prove to me. Prove to me that.
This is a different argument because it's gonna take some time. I'm not gonna go into it right now.
Therefore we can.
Is it? You said you want to conclude. Do you want to conclude?
But I want on this point. I want you to.
No, you said bring.
I want you to.
You said bring. You said bring. I'll tell you the three ways of.
But I want you to.
I'll tell you the three ways. I'll tell you the three ways of preservation.
Yes.
And you can accept them or reject them. Okay. We can discuss them another time. But they're gonna take a whole time because you're gonna discuss one
point.
Give
me a quick wrap of how to authenticate this very prophecy.
Okay.
Because I'm saying to you that could have been written after. Because the Quran was written afterwards, it doesn't mean anything. I gave you something.
It was compiled.
But listen.
Compiled afterwards.
Listen to what I'm saying.
This is different.
Listen to my argument. I gave you a prophecy from the book of Genesis. The Dead Sea Scrolls were written 200 years before Jesus. So that is a validation. So if it comes to pass, it was before, it predates the prophecy. What you're giving me.
So are you telling me this is your only standard? So all the predictions in the New Testament,
yes.
we can't take them as a criteria. Is this what you're saying?
What I'm saying. I said the criteria you use for the Bible. So that's why I went to time frame.
I didn't use the criteria.
Because you said
I didn't use it. I didn't use it.
Did you say there's a gap?
This is about
Moses?
this is about the authenticity.
So
not the prediction. When you give me a prediction, I didn't tell you the Bible is not true, therefore I'm not going to accept it. This is what you're saying right now. This is what look at the double.
Because we're wrapping up. Substantiate. Okay. So now, how do we know this is authentic?
All right. First, we have three ways of. We already spoke about the Sana manuscript. The Sana manuscript is at the Uthman type. You know Uthmani manuscript.
I don't think it's the Uthman.
You don't. What is it there? The Sana manuscript, not the one in Birmingham. The problem is if you don't know, you're going to have now to provide the evidence.
Okay.
This is your own criteria. That's why I told you. If every point we're going to stop.
What is the date of the Sana manuscript?
I know it's in the Uthmani period. I don't remember the exact date. But you can research it online right now if you like.
Okay.
It's on Wikipedia. It's on Wikipedia. Anyone can research it.
Let's just go with that quickly.
Anyways,
so now make your point.
We said we have Birmingham manuscript over here at the time of the Prophet. Are you telling me that the Birmingham manuscript is after this incident? It's not after this incident. This is another one.
The Birmingham, the oldest manuscript comes after the death of Muhammad. So anything he recited, if it's in the Quran, it comes after him. So therefore, the prophecy was during the time of Muhammad. Therefore, it logically follows that.
Anyways, let's go back to the criteria I was talking about. So I was saying first.
So you're authenticating the Quran.
Yeah. I'm saying first the carbon dated manuscript that we have.
The writing comes after though.
The carbon dated manuscripts that we have. We're gonna discuss it, no problem. Just let me finish the 3 points. Okay. The second one is we have chains of narration. Do you know what hadith is?
Yes.
What is a chain of narration basically?
It's someone that repeats something that they heard.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we can track back. Unlikely to your sources, we can track every person.
So prove to me those people existed. Give me some sort of evidence that they existed.
I can give you some biographies of the. I can give you the biographies of the people. I can give you biographies of the people in the chain of narration.
Can you give me contemporary evidence that they existed? Writings or a book from that time? Because anyone can. Because that's Chinese whispers.
They didn't have the books that we have today.
Anyone can make a claim. For example,
do you know what I'm saying?
No.
They didn't have the books. They used to write it on leather.
I'm saying to you, listen, I'm holding you to your same standard. I said to you,
no. I'll tell you why you're not. I said we have the.
You
want to listen to me? You want to listen to me?
Let me finish making my point.
Okay.
Because I said we have the books of the Prophet corresponding what came before. He didn't accept that.
Yeah.
So I'm saying to you, if you want me to accept these people existed, you'll have to show me some contemporary evidence that they existed.
Okay.
From
so look at the criteria.
Inscription.
Look at the criteria. Look at the criteria you talked about right now. Look at the criteria you talked about right now. My criteria is we have the names, biographies, whether they met the person or
invented later on.
It could have been. It's you could find it in. I'll tell you why.
I told him. I'm holding him to his same standards.
I'll tell you.
I do not.
I'll tell you why.
I have to want.
I'll tell you why.
Proof.
I'll tell you.
Chinese whisper is not.
I'll tell you why it's historical because you can track it back in many places. You can track back. Did this person actually live at that time? Did he have the name? In circular history, you don't have to use the Islamic literature.
So when
let me finish. You said you let me finish, isn't it? So let me finish. This way we won't be able to speak. So our criteria is we have biographies of the people. You're telling me prophets.
Is it contemporary writings, biography?
What do you mean by contemporary?
As in it was written during the time that they existed, or is it from like if I go?
It's history.
If I go to a book that is written, is the book 300 years later, or is it from the time of that person that they existed?
Depending on what you're talking about. Are you talking about the Quran or are you talking about?
For example, Hafs is the Quran you use, yeah? Like recitation.
Hafs is the reading, recitation, yeah.
So do you have contemporary evidence of Hafs existing?
Yeah, we have, as I told you, chains of narration going back to the Prophet.
I said you have contemporary evidence. Because
this is why I told you, what do you mean contemporary
because I said to you, for example, we have chains of narration from the Prophet. Prophet to Prophet to Prophet to Prophet to Prophet to Prophet.
You don't have that.
Yes, we do.
You don't have that. The problem is you don't know. You don't have the biographies of the people.
But you rejected it. You said give me outside evidence.
No.
We can go to the
you
Talmud.
have the Dead Sea Scrolls that found.
We have the Talmud, which confirms the transmission.
Yeah, you don't have the biographies of the people. You don't have the same criteria. This is the idea. I'm telling you. You said the same
want to
standards.
prove
You said the same
okay,
standards.
If you want to
And
prove that
you
person existed, show me contemporary evidence.
I'm sorry.
300.
Oh, this whole conversation, I didn't ask you what's your name, is it?
Paperboy.
Paperboy.
Yes.
This is your actual name, not your actual name, is it?
That's my name.
Okay, no problem. Anyways, Paperboy, as I told you, this is only a part of what I was going to present, and we're arguing on it for 20 minutes. This is why I told you, let's end on something positive.
Yeah, but
let's find a mutual ground over here.
Yeah, but I'm just because obviously we spent so much time talking about the Bible, but that's why I said to you, and I started off with the
that's
fact
why you
that
told me.
if we hold
that's why you told
the
me.
Quran to the same standards you hold the Bible, you're going to have much difficulties like backing up your
I told you why not.
Yes.
Because these people, you don't have the biographies. You say it doesn't matter, but this is not the same standard.
We have
then.
the biography
It's not
called the Bible.
It's not.
We have the biography called the Bible. That's why that's their
to
biography.
prove the Bible. We have biographies.
so-
Wait. We have biographies outside the Quran to prove the Quran. We don't have biographies inside the Bible to prove the Bible.
We have the Talmud.
Do you understand my point of view?
We have the Talmud.
Listen. I'll tell you. What you're saying
again,
is
your
no.
reasoning
You don't want to
is not
listen. You don't want to listen. You don't want to listen to me. You said you have biographies inside the Bible to prove the Bible. We have biographies.
Who
Let
read
me
the
finish.
biography?
Let me finish.
Yeah, but who read the biography?
Let me finish. I told you can find it in secular history. Historians, not Muslims, Arabs, they wrote that these people lived at this certain age. They went from this place to this place. You can track it. I'll give you a name of the person, and you can go track it
Now let me ask you,
historically.
what is the earliest manuscript?
Because this is testimony.
Wait.
Are you
What is the earliest manuscript with the biographies?
The earliest manuscript of the I think I would say Al-Bukhari, the authentic one, the first one. 200 years.
About 2 to 3.
200,
you want
no,
me?
200 years.
You want
200
me
years.
to then accept something that came 200 years later?
Do you
as
understand?
evidence?
Do you understand what it is? It's not the evidence. It's only telling you the names of the people
So-
in the narration.
it's not-
And these people you
it's
can
not
track.
evidence then.
You
No,
can track
I said
historically.
contemporary evidence.
The problem is you don't listen to what I'm saying. Listen to me. This book, 200 years, is only giving you the names of the people who narrated. These names you can go check historically. Did they exist or they didn't exist? So the book itself is not the proof. It's only telling you who narrated, where they lived, did they meet this person or not, were they trustworthy, were they honest. This is only one part. The other part is the oral tradition that we have. What is the oral tradition? Have you any idea what the oral tradition is?
Now this is the fallacy he makes.
You don't want to go back to the oral tradition, do you?
No, I don't.
Let
I
me
don't
finish.
mind that.
Let me
But
finish.
now
We'll go back.
he's
We'll go back.
saying
We'll
that
go
the
back.
Arab-
We'll go back. We'll go back.
Arab oral
Non-Muslim.
tradition is fine,
Non-Muslim.
but then when we go to the Jewish oral tradition, we reject it. This is what we call a
I didn't
double
say that. I
standard.
didn't say that.
So then why
Did I
should
say
I go
that?
to oral tradition?
No.
Because I've told you about the Talmud,
Look.
and it was a book given to the people.
The people listening over here, they know what you said. You said you use the Bible to prove the Bible. This is the only
I said
contention.
we have oral tradition.
Listen to me. This is the only
We have
contention.
Talmud.
This is the only contention I have. If you have evidence from outside the Bible, people, Christians, you have their biographies, you have chains of narration, them narrating the Bible, I'm going to accept it. 100%. Because it's the same standard. But you're going to have carbon dated evidence. You're going to have oral tradition as we have. What is our oral tradition? The Prophet used to recite the verses. People memorize the verses. You're going to let me finish.
But you can't give
Let
me
me finish.
contemporary evidence
Let
of
me
these
finish.
people.
Let me
So therefore, it's not
The
evidence.
people who are actually memorizing, they have change of narration as well. They're called Hafiz al-Quran. They have something, it's called ijaza. This ijaza is the
Can
narration.
you prove these people existed?
You know,
it's like me saying
can you
to
prove
you.
anything?
It's like me saying
Can
to
you prove anything?
If you give, it's like
Can you
me.
prove
It's
anything?
like me saying to you.
I'll tell you.
I spoke to Michael Jackson yesterday, and he told me something from Elvis Presley.
I'll tell you the
and
problem.
he told me
I'll
something
tell you the problem.
from
I'll tell
Martin
you.
Luther King.
You know
We
what
need
testimony is. You know what testimony
contemporary
is. Testimony. Do you accept testimony?
What kind of testimony?
Normal testimony. Do you accept it as evidence? Do you accept it in your life, in your day-to-day
Yeah,
life?
if I see the person,
you do.
yes.
You do accept.
I'd understand it.
Do you
Yes.
have to see the person?
Contemporary evidence.
Do you have to see the person?
Contemporary evidence. Yes, if it's verified contemporary evidence. If it's something from
I'll tell
a
you-
manuscript 200
I'm saying
years
testimony.
later, that person could have been made
No,
up.
I'll tell you the problem. The problem is, I'm saying, what is our standard? Anything you could argue. Anyways, anything anyone can bring, we could argue. You agree or disagree?
Well,
No, don't tell me you can't.
bring
Anything.
sufficient evidence,
Yeah, yeah.
contemporary evidence.
No, but listen to me.
That's why, for example, when we talk
How are
about
you doing?
the New Testament and the life of Christ, we have the
Listen,
gospel.
let me finish.
Wait,
Let me
we
finish
have the
because
gospel.
I lost my
We
voice
have-
already.
We have independent.
Trust me, I lost my voice.
Yeah,
You've been
but-
talking for 2
yeah, but
hours.
let me just quickly wrap
Okay,
this
no,
up.
let me.
Because
Okay, you
let me
make your
give you a
statement.
standard.
You make your statement. I'll make my statement.
Yeah, okay.
And we wrap it up.
All
right?
Because yes,
Go ahead.
Because even when we go to the New Testament,
Okay.
we have the Gospels. Yes.
Okay.
We have the writings of Paul that all date within about 60
The
years of
writings of
Christ.
Paul in the Bible.
They were all written independently. Then they'll collect. No.
Yeah, they are
Okay.
they are a part of the
Yes.
Bible. Continue, no problem.
So now
I'm
we
sorry
have
to cut you. I'm
independent
sorry to cut you.
writings that were collected together. we also have independent scholars like Josephus, Tacitus, Pliny the Younger, who are all testifying about Jesus. Then we have the church fathers, the oral tradition, the early church.
Which oral tradition?
The Apostolic Church.
Are you telling me you have an oral tradition of the whole Bible, people memorizing it and passing it down?
Listen to what I'm saying.
No problem, continue.
I said, when we go to the New Testament.
I'm sorry to cut your statement.
Yes,
I'm very sorry.
I said
I don't want to cut your statement anyways.
Okay,
I'll let
you're
you
still
finish.
cutting.
Yeah.
But we have the.
Yeah, it's a conclusion.
Yeah,
Let him finish. He's going to finish. I'm going to finish.
Let me finish. So I'm saying we have the Apostolic Church, and even the early church fathers knew some of the earliest apostles. So you had an oral tradition which was passed down the writers to the church. So even the church even before that, the church gave birth to the Gospels. Not the Gospels gave birth to the church. So it was always an oral tradition, then it was written down. And this oral tradition has continued. That's why you have like the Catholic Church or the Orthodox Church, because they have the early church fathers who wrote about these things. So therefore, the evidence, we have contemporary, like you said, we have independent, like you said, we also have the scriptures, and we have the beginning of the church, all within a very short time period, and also the spread of Christianity, because people knew about Christ and his message. Therefore, this is very strong evidence, and when Jesus confirmed the Old Testament, we deem that as sufficient. So now, if you want to make your conclusion, if you can bring me that,
I'm gonna make my I'm gonna make my conclusion right now.
The same level.
Are you done? Are you done with the conclusion?
Criteria.
I'm gonna make my conclusion right now. So basically, what we have over here, I don't have to look at the cameras. That's why I'm telling you, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
So basically, my conclusion is, you guys you have people that you quoted. You don't have their biographies. They don't know where they live. Where they actually made the people they narrated off or not. Which historical time did they live in? These are, I find, problems with the people you quoted. Not only that, the people who wrote the Gospels, you guys don't have their biographies. The people also who you're talking about, who wrote the Gospels. You know, John, there are four people, the Christian scholars disputing which John is it. Matthew, you know, your scholars say he didn't write Matthew. So this is the problem.
No scholars say he didn't write Matthew.
You said you're not gonna.
You can't close on false premises.
I thought some of the things you said was false, but I didn't stop here. This is the idea. Let me finish, and people can judge. Do you agree or you disagree? Anyways. I was saying 4 Johns disputing on them. Matthew, you don't know who's Matthew. What's his name? You can't give me his family name. What's his third name? His first name? His last name? You don't have all these kinds of things. You don't have his age. You don't know all these kind of information. But you're ascribing the things to these people. This is the problem. And the problem is you're telling me we have the writings of Peter or whatever. These kind of things are compiled with the Bible as well, and they are a part of the Bible. You say this is also the word of God, so I cannot use it to prove that this is the word of God. This is circular reasoning. I cannot say the Quran because the Quran says inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafidhun. We have sent out the revelation and we're going to preserve it. Okay. I'm not going to tell you because Allah says that, then for the book is preserved. This would be circular reasoning.
Wait.
Let me finish. No, I have to finish. No, let me finish. What I gave you is, I told you oral tradition. Oral tradition is people memorize the Quran word for word from the mouth of the Prophet. You only have people who received the Holy Spirit and they wrote the writings. We have people receiving the Quran word by word from the mouth of the Prophet and they memorized it. They taught it to the other people. Today we have millions of people memorizing the Quran. They don't speak the language.
That's a straw man point.
This is
yeah, but
you can't let me finish.
Yeah, but you're going
Anyways,
it was just a quick conclusion.
Yeah. I'm gonna finish it right now. No problem. So we have the oral tradition, millions of people memorizing today from the time of the Prophet. Okay. We have the carbon dated manuscripts, and we have the prophetic traditions, and all these kind of things are outside of the Quran. We don't use something from the Quran to prove the Quran. However, this is the conclusion.
Okay,
no problem.
Can you give me?
Is it going to be quick?
Yeah.
Because
you said
my voice is gone.
Okay, you said you have stuff from outside the Quran. Yes. Can you give me one independent non-Muslim who confirms?
I told you Arabs of the time they have the historical evidence.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Anyways. It's been. I'm coming here I think almost every Sunday. So we can speak again.
Yeah, but just answer that question. I'm saying the name. Just give me the name of one person
Yeah.
who, independent of the time, confirms what's in the Quran. One person.
How so?
Huh?
How does he confirm what's
Because you said you have outside of the Quran people confirming. You said the Arabs.
I'm saying we have people,
Yeah, I'm saying
Muslims, Muslims and non-Muslims.
So who's the non-Muslim?
The non-Muslims are the historians who wrote the
Like
biographies. Listen to me.
Like, yeah, give me the name.
Let me beg you. I think Ibn al-Haytham. But I think Ibn al-Haytham is a Muslim. I think.
Yeah, he's a Muslim. Yeah.
Let me fund you. No, Ibn al-Haytham. Let me give you some names.
And tell me when he lived. That's all I want to know. Because you made a claim.
No problem. These people are not confirming the Quran. These people are writing biographies because the idea
Biographies of who?
of the people you find narrating. Why? As a proof that these people lived in this time.
So they weren't Muslims, but then they were writing the biographies. Of
Not
the
writing
people
history. They're writing history.
Okay, yeah, give me
But
give me
in
the
the
name. Give me the name.
Okay. Yeah, it's better to close off the light. Yeah, because I didn't have this kind of evidence with me. He wants me to bring it.
Yeah,
so I have to research it.
Well,
this is the problem.
So now you made a claim.
No, I have read their names. I have read their names, but I don't remember
You made a
it.
claim that it was verified by independent
You can
people,
research it.
But you cannot give me the name.
This is the idea. You can research it. Any person,
So
any person who's
but
listen,
you
no.
agree, at the moment,
You have to listen to me. You have to
At
listen
the
to me.
moment, it's an unsubstantiated.
We'll go back
claim.
to what you said.
You agree?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
no.
fine.
I said
No,
what's unsubstantiated.
Yes.
Let me clarify. What's unsubstantiated is
You made a
the
claim.
historians that talked about some of the people who are, or the people who are narrating.
Can you
This
substantiate?
is what I cannot substantiate right
That's
now.
what I'm saying,
But I'll
yes.
bring the evidence later on. No
Okay,
problem.
so that's
Or
what
I
we're
can research
closing
it
on.
right now.
That's fine.
Let me research it. No problem.
That's fine. Because obviously, just to close,
Let me
you made a claim that there's independent evidence, but we do not know this independent evidence. That's what
not
strengthens something.
not relating to the Quran, relating to the people who, because you told me,
Yeah,
how do I know
exactly.
that these people
So,
live?
but then-
how do I know that these biographies exist?
Exactly.
Because they exist in
so if you
multiple
want to
books.
look for it, if
Yeah.
we see each other next week, that's fine. But we have completely different standards of argumentation because no one heard from Allah, no one saw Jibril, apart from one person, Muhammad. Therefore, there's your circular argumentation. Allah said so. No, actually.
Sorry.
Of Muhammad.
Now I'm not hearing what you're saying, but you're making another conclusion. We have already
That's fine.
concluded.
That's fine.
So this is
So,
not fair,
until
This is
next week.
intellectual dishonesty,
All right. Cool.
Anyways,
All right.
inshallah, I'll bring you the evidence later on. Anyway, it's been nice.